The hero hype is real.
It truly is.
He was so good back there.
I can't wait to see if he can actually play at that level in all 3 matchups in Code S. That's because Terminator is Code S quality, so he has already beaten a Code S player. A Code S player we will not have in Code S this season.
Yeah, he's no longer Code S player by current definition.
Yeah.
We saw him play so perfectly in the decision making, but also just the micro. Even that last moment when the game was pretty much already won, but he did that little pylon wall at the lower part of the ramp
very hero.
to block the one stalker in, so that he could just snowball the win that much quicker. I mean, that is beautiful. That's awesome. And by the way, I know we looked like we were happy a second ago.
We weren't.
But we're sad again. And you have to go ahead and download the GOMTV app.
Yeah.
Or I will go into a horrible bout of depression.
Guys, if you use that app, you can watch the VODs of any day of GSL within 24 hours of it occurring for free. So
it's pretty good.
So do it.
Do it.
Because
Make
I know
Tastos is happy.
That's right. Please.
We got real mood disorders, man. We're up and down and up and down.
We're all over the place. I'm about to be manic in a moment here with this next match.
This is also a great match we have coming up. I'm almost reluctant to call favorites here after seeing the way that last match went, but Soulkey versus Creator. I think most people would assume Soulkey does better here. Comes out winning, but
you would assume.
You would assume, but we've had some strange results, not just today, but throughout Code A. And again, this is all leading up to what should be the best season of Code S yet. Last season was the best we had had till then, or until now.
That finals was
great.
Out of control.
I meant even removing the finals from that. The lineup that we had was so cool.
It was really cool.
It was really good. This one's looking even better, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Now that all the Koreans are back here in Korea,
the final layout.
Vast majority of them.
I'm really excited to see the final layout because so far for me, like my favorite Code S lineup was probably number 3 last year. I was like, damn, this is like the most skill. It was so good, but I think by the end of this year, we definitely can hit maybe even beyond that.
I think so.
That would be cool.
I'm not sure if we have a delay, actually. I don't know if one of our players is not ready yet, but we'll be starting this game shortly, I believe. Again, it's, as always, best of 5, loser, out of Code A, winner in Code S. It's different from our oldest formats at Code A.
Yeah.
And I like this format a lot better.
Yes,
I think it's much more fair. It rewards a player who would perform well in a large group like we have in Code S. Well, not really that large, 4-player group, or a round of 8.
Yeah, it's interesting because before, right, we've had it Code A a few different ways. Like, do you do a group style where 2 players get out, or do you do something like this?
Can we just talk about the most important thing, which is the sweater hype right now for Soulkey?
It's a pretty good sweater.
That is, I don't know.
That's not a sweater. That's chainmail.
Is that chainmail?
Look at it. It's chainmail.
Well, I don't know what quality chainmail that is if you can roll it up like that, but
it's a very flexible chainmail, tasteless. It doesn't stop bullets, but it deters daggers.
Looks like he's going to be real safe this time around here, unless he's attacked anywhere where his vital organs are. Now, no chainmail here, Creator. Somebody who's done well.
He doesn't need chainmail. He has force fields.
That's true. Creator, he's a good player. I'd say he's overshadowed by a lot of the people we've had in today's GSL Code A, but
he's not as good as he used to be comparatively. Remember when he was like
back in GSL and some of the other team leagues?
Remember when Parting won BWC in China?
Sure, yeah.
Became the world champion. Creator got second to him, if you recall.
That's true.
So, I mean, Creator in the past has been one of the best Protosses. Right now, no. He still has good games from time to time, but he's like, I don't know, he's not quite as good as we thought he'd be right now, basically. I don't know. There's still time. There's still hope for him. Absolutely.
Well, Hero's a good luck charm. Definitely our old school player still has a chance.
Hey, yeah, that's true. That's true. All right,
that's interesting. Soulkey knocked out Bonnie Research Station. That's actually been one of the more popular maps here in Code A.
Yeah, it's I'm not too surprised. I think it's kind of a good map for Protoss. But I also think it's kind of a good map for Zerg. Maybe Soulkey and his style, he doesn't want that map.
Don't forget, Soulkey's done a lot of quick pulls. more than anybody I think we can name.
Yeah, he does a lot of quick pulls.
You know, throughout the past year or two here.
He puts them in just enough, but not too much. It's like,
yeah,
I think that he's one of the best players in the world at mixing in fast pulls.
Yeah, he really is. So we'll see how Creator adapts to that, or if Soulkey still deems that as viable to use here. In a best of 5, you just do tend to see a little bit more risky play here.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if we saw it like on Deadwing or something. You want to do that?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Soulkey's sneaky like that. Like,
well, he'll usually do it on the map that it's supposed to be the worst on, which is what's funny about it.
Quite often.
So yeah, King Stage on Station, Merry-Go-Round, Overgrowth, Expedition Lost, and Deadwing.
Yeah, it's a solid map pool overall. I'm not actually... This isn't making me think it leans one way or the other. This is a good map pool this season.
King Stage on Station, man. Who do you think wins game 1? I'm thinking Soulkey for sure.
Soulkey.
Yeah.
Definitely. I definitely think Soulkey will take this series 3-0 or 3-1.
I hope these games are at least pretty close, pretty decent.
I hope so.
Because I think the last ZvP we just saw with Hero winning, that was the real highlight of the day here today.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll see what Creator has up his sleeves. Like some games in Pro League and stuff, he looks really good, and some he looks not so good. So kind of up and down. Soulkey, on the other hand, of course, doesn't play in Pro League anymore or anything like that. So we don't catch him as often. But you know, at the foreign events he's gone to and stuff, he's still looked quite strong. Definitely looks like still a top-tier Zerg.
And that countdown is done. The game is loaded up as we begin our final best of 5 here today at GOMTV. In the upper left in the red, he is
TCM Soulkey.
in the bottom right in the blue.
Creator Prime.
All right.
Okay, so we got some swarm support here. Shoe support there too.
Indeed.
You could be one of the guys that has 2 different shoes on each feet.
Oh yeah.
Better make sure that's the same brand though, otherwise that can't be good for walking around. I know you were thinking about doing it, Artosid, having one rain boot on and one
sandal.
One sandal, yeah.
Oh no! One rain boot and a high heel.
Look, guys, I know the most eccentric guy or girl in your high school tried it, guys, but it's not good for the back.
No, certainly not.
They then went on to ride a unicycle to their college classes on campus, and
with a rain boot on.
Yep.
Ouch.
No, not with those. That's a phase. They passed that, then they went on to something new, like, you know,
wearing oven mitts when it's cold out.
There was a kid. That's what you do when you're broke, man. That's Brood War tasteless in college. I'm like, well, I can't afford like mittens, but I'll wear oh, hold up. I'm sorry, is this Forge first?
Yeah. It is indeed. We'll see if he actually goes with it or just expands. I think he's just expanding. It's like trying to force the pull.
Yep.
But he might go for it. Like
it's possible.
You can sometimes force out a win with this.
It's going to depend on what side the drones are on here. And yep, there it is. He can make one cannon here, and then this becomes kind of a funky wall.
As soon as you start, it becomes.
Wait, is that not? Can he get a?
No, he screwed that up.
Yeah, he bungled that.
He really screwed that up.
Oh yeah, like.
Oh, he has another probe coming.
Okay, for a second I'm like, yeah, right. Like they'll even make that distance. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, he has to cancel that.
Oh god, yeah, he needs to cancel. He can't lose
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, last second much?
Yeah. Well, he definitely gets the hatch. The hatch probably will cancel, I would imagine, but... Oh, he doesn't cancel it. Okay.
Well, I don't know if Soulkey knows something we don't, but if this cannon rush fails, that is horrible.
Wait, does he actually?
I think
he might get it because he killed the
probe.
probe.
He's got 6 lings here, and look, there's actually only going to be 1 more cannon here. He's going to get this one right as it dies. It doesn't even, well, he cancels it, but he gets that one before it dies. Now, if you think about the amount of minerals lost here, yes, he's killing some drones, but...
Okay, good targeting at least. Okay, 5 drones. He lost a lot of mining time on those drones, but he made 1 million cannons.
We need like a supercomputer to figure out exactly how much was lost versus how much was gained for each party.
I would definitely say the advantage goes to Soulkey.
Certainly so. But, I mean, how much behind is Creator? I mean, how many cancels do we have there? How many drones were mining, losing mining time?
It's hard to figure out exactly.
It's pretty tricky to follow.
Also from here, Protoss plays blind. If he guesses what Soulkey does, then it's not as bad, but you kind of almost have to play a little bit defensive here a lot of the time.
Yeah, Soulkey does have the luxury of doing some kind of attack follow-up from here.
But like with the 2 hatches up, he should be able to drone up enough that he's fine, right?
You'd think so. Whoa, okay. Misplaced that cybernetic score for a second.
Yeah, I didn't want those lings just darting in there.
Had to try.
Yeah.
You had to try.
When that works, it's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Okay, so this game is going to normalize a little bit here. Creator did not quite do that rush correctly. There's a 3rd cannon that's supposed to fit in the back there. Yeah, he does that, and it looks like the drone ended up blocking both of them. Either that or there was a moment where there was a lot happening there. There might have been a moment where he didn't have the minerals for a second,
that could have been.
Then it was blocked. There's a lot
that could have been
happening in moments like that.
Yeah, there were some slight mistakes with it. Trapping his probe back there with 2 drones there. Like, if he had gotten that cannon made right there, that would have been insane. But, anyways, I mean, Soulkey dealt with it well. He's going to start shooting up in drones pretty quickly here, but we do have that 2nd Nexus done. So, yeah, I mean, Creator's not doing too badly.
No, he's okay.
Yeah. What is the follow-up tech, though, for Creator?
For Creator, well, it kind of depends on what he thinks Soulkey's going to do. He had that probe out there on the map, so he got some decent scouting.
Yeah,
so he didn't see it was anything weird, like a 2-base rush. Yeah. And I guess this is a perfectly fine response, since this game is already a way off tempo.
Yeah.
Like, you can have 20 games that all sort of look like this, and they're all going to come out with different results drastically. Because 1 or 2 cannons were not killed versus canceled, or more drones for the Zerg were killed. So this is probably the best response, since he sees that the Zerg is actually going to go for an expansion to just expand himself.
To scout that was big.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you have already Zerg off tempo, and this is an older build where you get the Stalker out and try to expand with this at a Mothership Core. Kind of like the old builds we'd see with Void Rays protecting the walled-in cannon and Nexus. This is, I think, actually a really good play from Creator. I don't know if it'll win him the game, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I like his position now. After all is said and done, Soulkey's Zerglings ended up doing zilch. It would have been better if he hadn't made them, because Creator did get that scout on. He did get such a quick 3rd. Lost like literally 0 units just killing off blings. Looks fantastic, actually. The more I look at this, it's just like you have no speed, you have no Roach Warren, Soulkey. Your 3rd base is fast, but it's not so much faster than your opponents here. And, you know, he's droning up, so he's going the economy route, which means that it's not like Creator's necessarily ahead, but I feel like Creator has more than recovered from the position he was at.
So the Oracle's going to come out now. Hallucinated Oracle, I should say. And just try to see how many drones are there, what the tech is. This is a pretty normal passive spot to be in after games like that. Usually it turns out like this, or it's one player doing something very risky, like timing based, to follow this up with. I think Creator might have done the follow-up timing build if he had killed that hatchery. That's where you don't need to play a normal game.
Yeah, maybe.
There's just no need. Or at least that's the way I would approach it. I mean, I'm sure there's some players who would play a more conservative game. Oh, that's a great spot.
More conservative game than tasteless, you don't say. Yeah.
That's annoying. He didn't get that Overseer out of time, which is actually bigger than it looks.
Yeah. To delay that scouting is awesome. The blink isn't too fast here from Creator, so it's not like he's going to have like a killing blow attack most likely anytime soon. There's some nice force fields. Creator seems to be pretty on top of it right now.
I think the real story is going to be how they're going to do when all the tech trees are finished, because that is where Soulkey is on a completely different level.
Well, Creator has gotten himself into the position where like he has everything he wants, pretty much, right? He's got a lot of gates. He's got a good 3-base economy. There's nothing actually going on over with Soulkey's side, so Soulkey's just kind of going into into Roach Hydra, most likely. I'm interested to see if he goes for... Okay, I'm interested to see if he goes for the quick hive with this and gets Vipers. And it looks like he's going to. Just throw down the Infestation Pit. Could, of course, be for something like Swarm Host, but I have a feeling he's going to go directly into Vipers.
The legs are coming down here now, but there's no real easy entrance there. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't go for the snipe up there. Were those few sentries out like that?
Yeah. Look how many gates are being made. How many gates
Yeah, it's
is
actually
this?
a bit comical. Well, there's 5 down there, and there's about to be 2 more there, so 7 just outside of the 3rd.
And then there has to be at least
So
2
one
more
at the
or 3
entrance,
more.
that would be
okay, so maybe a
8 total.
10?
And
Oh,
I think
8 to 10 gate.
Well, actually, are there any gates in the main? I'm not totally sure now.
I think there are 2 gates in the main. I think it's actually a 10
expand.
gate. I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Okay.
Like 10 is kind of what you can do with this. But oh, maybe it's a 9.
Oh,
yeah,
no, there are
9.
2 gates there, so 9 gate. Okay.
Yeah.
So, 9 gate build.
This is good though.
And this is actually really good because Soulkey's taking
Oh,
the
it is a
4th
10.
base.
Oh god, miscount 100 times. Anyways, doesn't matter. This is a lot of gates.
We really put our
He's-
necks on the line out there,
Yeah.
cutting those gates while on a
Well,
on
you know,
live broadcast.
What, like between 7 and 10 are differences. It's like, can
Yeah,
you
there
afford
is.
another base? This is like 100% he will kill the 4th base. 100%. And if the battle goes his way, he starts killing everything, really. The Vipers are not going to be quite quick enough to stop this attack at the beginning. How many sentries does he truly have here? Not that many, really. Not that many.
All right, he's going to come up here. This is a pretty good arc.
Yeah.
But Creator might still want to engage. It's hard to say here. I'm a little bit surprised Soulkey just dived right into this. Seems a bit unwarranted to do that, you know?
Those 3 Void Rays actually could be worth some money here if you micros them just right. Some decent force fields do go down. One of the Void Rays is going to get targeted down right now. He does, of course, have Blink and +2, so definitely going Creator's way at the moment.
In fact, Creator now with a supply lead here. It chases back the rest of this army. Creator, in fact, not even finishing those force field wall-offs, but letting Protoss or Zerg units slip through.
Well, this is like... what was that loop-de-doo? Well, he just has enough here, I think, Taste. This should be able to just bowl Soulkey over.
Yeah, I think that's actually GG here.
Yeah.
When you have this many Stalkers and Zerg's just down, he's pulling Queens, the game's basically over. You can blink forever.
You know, I think that the issue here for Soulkey was that probe that got like a free scout of everything that was going on. To see that hatchery coming out at that time after what had happened, he knew there was no speed on the way and got his 3rd so fast.
What if you and I are in some kind of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and we don't know that we've been launched back in time and we're in fact watching Creator and Hero in their prime against newbie Soulkey and newbie Terminator? What if that's actually happening?
Oh my god, that would just be crazy. I want to make a joke because Creator's on Prime, but nothing's coming to me. But
that's okay.
It's all right.
You were funnier in the future anyways. So. Man, great job there by Creator. A bit of a bumpy cannon rush.
Yeah.
That didn't quite pay off, but a great follow-up.
Yeah,
great follow-up build into a great follow-up timing.
With that scout, he did everything perfectly from there. So Soulkey has to be a little bit frustrated with that game. Let's see if he can tighten it up on this next one. I believe it's American. Yeah, it is. So a little bit better map for Soulkey this time, I guess. A little bit Zerg favored this map. Just has to really watch for what Creator's doing. Is he going to take a 3rd base, or is he going to do a 2-base attack?
Man, Creator beating Soulkey. Look, I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I need Creator to lose this today.
Why is that?
I want Soulkey in the GSL Code S.
I know what you mean.
It's totally more hype if Soulkey's in there, but if Creator wins, good for him.
We're a little bit short on Protoss right now, so I'm willing to sacrifice a Soulkey to gain a Creator. I feel like I'm trading baseball cards, but I'm like, let's bounce this race
like
a bit more.
We're using Hearthstone cards, and we're trying to figure out if we should turn Creator into dust or not.
Yes, indeed.
Because here's the thing, man. If we sacrifice Soulkey, that's 1,600 arcane dust.
That's true, but Creator is a common card that we need. We want gold of, but is it worth disenchanting Soulkey to get him?
That's the big question.
That's the big question.
Okay. There's a question. My PayPal account very low on money. Can't buy more packs right now. Okay. So we're going to go now into game number 2. Creator surprisingly with the lead. Better play, better execution. Soulkey needs to come back in this best of 5. In the upper left in the red.
TCM Soulkey.
Note the sweater. It's a very good sweater. It's probably very comfortable to wear. In the upper right.
Creator Prime.
Yeah, doesn't look like any cannon rush this time.
Also no sweater.
Oh, might be cold. Who knows?
Well, you know, man. We're just in the same room with these people.
Well, I mean, he's in a little booth. And also, people have different body temperatures.
We changed a
If
lot
I
of
was in
things
just
in
a
the booth.
t-shirt right now, I would be cold.
Did you guys know that we make the pro gamers wear no shoes and make them have their feet in hot water in the booth? Like,
Is that right?
yeah.
Got those little fish in there. Eat all the dead skin.
Have you ever been to one of those?
I've seen them, but I've never done it.
They have these things, just so the audience knows that we're talking about. They have these, I think they're actually getting popular in the States now, too.
Oh, maybe. Dr. Fish.
Dr. Fish, it's where you you go to a place where you could dip your feet into a fish tank. I'm being totally serious, by the way. And little fish come over and nibble off the dead skin on your feet.
Yeah.
And I've been there.
The
fish ate my skin.
I don't know if I like that.
It tickles,
heard that
actually.
Like, it can spread disease or something. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I don't think so, man.
I don't know.
That's where I find out I die of fish foot 20 years from now. Tasteless died from a rare case of fish foot.
Yeah.
The right leg went first. That's why he's walking around like a pirate with a peg leg on. Till eventually he just, you know, had he had two
right
peg
leg
legs.
went,
So
we mean they turned into fish fins.
Yeah.
You can't walk on fish fins.
I was walking on flippers.
Yeah,
okay.
That's tough.
Let me tell you something. You go to the shoe store, try to get a pair of Converse that fit on flippers.
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. A tough life you lead. Should have never been so reckless going to the Dr. Fish.
I know. What was I doing?
Yeah. Well, you live that type of lifestyle, Taste.
The lower part of my body is actually just a giant fishtail. I become a merman.
A merman. If you became a merman, your top half would be a fish. Let's be real about this.
And then on Reddit, it's like, does anyone else think Tasteless is the second best merman caster in StarCraft II? Now,
turns out that Nathanius has been a merman all along.
Okay, I'm trying to think of Nathanius. I think actually who would be a better merman would be Rotterdam, actually.
Yeah, you know what? He would be a good merman.
I think Rotterdam might be Poseidon, king of the sea.
Nathanius would actually be a better like fawn caster. Pretty sure.
He could have fawn legs.
He has goat legs underneath
goat
those
legs,
pants.
Yeah, little hooves. Playing on like a loop.
Never
or
seen
something.
him in shorts. I don't know. Why wouldn't I have seen him in shorts?
Well, a lot of people don't actually know that we're centaurs. They just can't see the lower part of our body, but we actually have horse bodies.
Yeah.
In fact, because we're on floor 2 of the GOM studio, we can't get downstairs. We actually every time they have to kill us and then reanimate us. It's crazy. It's really dark, man.
That's so bad.
It's so bad. They actually
every time we wake up, like, oh my god, I'm back
in
here.
the basement of the GOM studio. There's about 1,000 giant tubes with fetus centaur tastosises growing in there.
Wow.
And then they lead us up the stairs. And kill us, man.
And we're a little bit nervous because there's dead us's in the corner.
Yeah. It's pretty
They're like, oh sorry, we didn't get to clean those out before we reanimated you today. We go,
oh no, why don't you just put us on floor 1? There's elevators there.
That's funny. All right, well, it does look like we have a rush coming up, Tasteless.
Yeah, well, Soulkey's definitely the guy to incorporate the right rush.
Yeah. A cannon already at that wall. Is making a sentry at the moment. Has that mothership core nearby. Knows it.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about the giant tubes with baby centaurs of us.
Yeah. Well, varying ages of centaurs of us.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why sometimes the schedule gets moved. There's we aren't ready to be born.
There was an accident in one of the tubes. There was a hole. The water drained out. Dead Artosis centaur in there.
I had to move the days back.
Not fully developed.
They have a couple that are getting old. That's why we had to scrunch some Code A's together. You don't want them going bad, man. Nothing like an old tastosis. You.
Let's see how this attack does. It's going to be down to these force fields here. He needs to get these other oh my god.
Okay, he didn't mean to Guardian Shield. That is such a mistake. That is going to be 2 force fields missed. Like, he's very likely to lose this now.
Again, it's not just 2 force fields missed, that's 1 game lost.
Yeah. Now, those Lings got in because of that. Okay, he's actually... I think he may have held if he hadn't done that.
This makes me think about the days right when I first started playing StarCraft II, and I didn't change the key for Guardian Shield instead of hold position.
Yeah.
So that would just randomly turn on.
I actually think that's what happened to him. And shortly after switching to Protoss, I switched Guardian Shield to X to never make that thing happen again. It's I actually think that's what just happened. I think he wanted to hold position so that the Roaches couldn't snipe him. And I am... Like, he's dead, but I'm fairly certain he could have...
GG.
I'm fairly certain he could have held that, because the Sentry had about 15 energy when he cast that Guardian Shield, which means that he would have had another force field and then another one shortly thereafter. And with the Lings lock in, the Lings got in, killed off his Sentries. He knows it, too. He's like, oh my god,
he's like, I was such a throw hard back there.
Yeah. You know, that would have bought him so much more time. The Nexus cannon doing damage, the Sentry's doing damage, more warp-ins, the cannon's warping in. It's just, that's brutal to lose like that. But you know what, Soulkey pushed it forward and picks up his win.
Oh, you notice he had his build orders written down there, Artosis.
Did he? I didn't notice that, actually.
Note right there.
Huh.
This is, yeah, that's unfortunate because he played so well in Game 1, but that has been completely nullified. It's now essentially a best of 3.
Indeed it is. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing this series go to the 5th game.
Yeah, that would be actually
it's actually been really one-sided. Fantasy and Hero both really outplayed their opponents.
Yeah, they really did. Well, we're going to be going into game number 3 pretty quickly here. The map will be Overgrowth. Soulkey, he's always comfortable with just incorporating some aggressive builds.
Yeah. They, you know, that really mixes things up for him and allows him to be unpredictable. Greater was even like kind of ready for it, like not completely, but he was in a position where it definitely came down to like skill to hold and wasn't able to do so. So Soulkey might be comfortable doing another aggressive build somewhere in this series, but I doubt it here. I feel like this might be a map where he wants to play a macro game.
I think so. We'll see though.
Maybe go for quick Vipers again. It's quite a good strategy.
Overgrowth is a map that's been tried, tested, and true. I don't know how much longer we're going to have this map in the GSL.
I bet you this is last season.
Could be.
We can't just keep this map forever. Listen, Daybreak.
The lost temple of...
Get out of here, Daybreak. God.
Game number 3 is ready. In the bottom left in the red, he is
TCM Soulkey.
In the upper right in the blue, he is
Creator Prime.
One of the first pro teams in StarCraft II. Not doing so well right now, really.
No, unfortunately.
Truth be told, they are not having the greatest Pro League performance, that's for sure. They have a few players that make it into individual leagues like Yoda. Young Chick has been doing reasonably well. But other than that, it's been pretty tough. Would do really well for them to get Creator in Code S. So far, based on these games, maybe could happen.
So, Soulkey's going to go for Hatch first. Artosis, I believe this is going to be one of our slower games here for starts.
I would imagine. It's, you know, as soon as you see that pylon in the main base, it's like, oh, okay. Nothing early is going to happen. Versus Hatch first, yeah.
Yeah, pretty big difference in those. Did you just got back from your flight from Germany. Did you play any good games?
Well, I played some Hearthstone over the weekend, of course.
Oh, of course,
but,
yeah. I meant anything like on the flight.
Yeah.
I know you bring your DS with you.
Yeah, man. I'm playing Etrian Odyssey.
Is that a new one, or is that the one you were
new.
playing before? Okay.
Well, I was playing it recently, but it's not the one that I like talked a lot about that I beat and stuff. It's made by the same guys, kind of similar in some ways. It's like a really like big, cool RPG. So having a lot of fun with that. Very good game so far. Put a lot of hours in. I'm playing it on like super hard mode, and I didn't quite get it, like how to do the battles. Like I misunderstood it for a little bit.
That can happen in
and
some RPGs.
It took me forever. For anyone that plays the game, B5 in the like B5 in the thing in the kind of towards the beginning of the game. Fenrir the Wolf.
Is it floor B5 or?
Yeah, floor B5, like 5 basements down.
Yeah.
Took me like 100 years to beat him. I was like, what the hell? And I like kept raising my characters and like really trying. And this is not a game where you can save right before you fight a boss. And then retry
that's
it.
brutal.
Yeah, so it's like basically like
still somewhat typical though for RPGs nowadays.
Well, I like that I can't do it. I like really appreciate that.
Yeah, it makes you actually work.
Yeah, and then I found like a little secret passageway that got me right to the boss, so I didn't have to walk through the whole damn stage and fight a million monsters on the way and use up all my magic points. And then still I was having a hard time, and then I figured out that there's just 2 items you spam at him and you win. And I'm like, oh, that took me so many hours to figure that out.
I've actually had some problems back when I would play more RPGs where you would start to get just good at the game, doing really basic things.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't actually pay attention to all the items you get.
No, I don't use Grimoire Stones. I don't even understand what they do yet. They're like,
this happens to me all the time in RPGs. I'll get to like the very end or the last 20%, and I realize that there's something I could have done to buff my weapon to be like 4 times as strong, and I just didn't know because I was pretty good at attacking and healing and getting the whole order of
That's a StarCraft player thing. That's like
yeah. I'm like, well, this game is inherently too hard, so I guess I just have to make do with nothing. I guess I'll hold off this bear attacking me with a popsicle stick. So they're like, well, no, Tasis, why don't you just use the gun? I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was in my inventory. I don't really check that. I got really good with a popsicle stick and fighting with that, though.
I'm like, oh my god, you have heal potions in this game? What?
Yeah, this is crazy.
Like, yeah, every game ever, buddy. I'm like, oh. But yeah. Anyways, very fun time with that. Nice scout by.
Yeah, he sees that Twilight Council, and in fact, loop around there to see if he can spot an upgrade coming out of that. I think we're going to have the upgrade start now, though.
Yeah, if you see a Twilight Council that early, you got to really question exactly what that's for. This time, yeah, it looks like that. Based on the timing of that Twilight Council, Soulkey should be a little bit wary that this could have been an all-in, but Creator, of course, adjusting to that, making that quick nexus.
I think I want to echo what you're saying and just like double underline it here because this is so smart. Most likely Creator had a very different build, but when that was scouted, because Creator, Soulkey sees that and he's a good player, just like we saw in the Hero game, right? Terminator's a good player. He sees a pylon miss and he's like, wait a minute. Yeah. So what does Creator do? He says, oh, I'll just make a nexus then since Soulkey should be on the defense.
Yeah, and he definitely had some sort of all-in plan there. So,
but unfortunately, Soulkey's Overlord was actually pushed back towards that nexus by Creator.
Yeah. Soulkey does at least see it's there, even if he's going to lose the Overlord. And so he can just continue to drone up here. He was even making a spine, so he definitely was still a little bit wary of it. But well done by Creator. Like his position. Once again, in fact. What will we actually see Soulkey going for here, though? I wonder. I bet you he's going to go like really heavy layer units. Whether or not that includes Hydralisks, I'm unsure, but wouldn't mind seeing something like Roach Speed and Burrow Movement. It's been something that's gained a lot of popularity.
Well, it's just going to be a matter of teching up, building up right now. Nobody can really engage the other. I think that was actually kind of a weird way for me to say that.
Yeah, I was actually like thinking about that sentence.
The 2 players can't engage each other. I was like, no one can engage the other. Like, what a weird kind of dark, strange statement that I made that really didn't quite sum up.
It's definitely, I was actually thinking about it. That's why it took me a second.
I sat there and I said it, and I'm like,
I was analyzing him like, I guess he can say that. It's like a weird thing to say, but he can say it. No one can stop Tasteless here. He's in the right. Technically.
Even if it sounds like he's talking from a different time period.
Yeah.
Stargate coming now.
Oh, okay. He actually prepared heavily for ETs.
Well, I mean, it looks like Creator's strategy worked yet again. Creator really, honestly, seems to be very prepared for mid-game and late game here.
Yeah.
Everything he's doing is working.
Well,
This is revenge of the old school boys.
It seems like some of these guys that we're like kind of underestimating today are players that realize that they need to make something happen soon, or they're, you know, their careers are basically over. Like everyone's just getting too good at StarCraft II. So if you're not putting in the time and the effort, then I mean, quit. I guess you know that's
I
it's
know what
the
you
best
mean.
I can tell you to do.
It's about 3 times as competitive now in
Yeah.
Korea with everybody coming back home.
Yeah, this year is crazy. Like,
By the
there's
way-
so much regularity.
Question for you, Artosis. What do you think about him recalling so quickly there? He didn't even attempt to contest the 4th base.
Yeah, well, he couldn't because of how many units were there, like really do anything. I'm okay with the recall. I'm surprised he did it. I really didn't expect it, but
Normally, I mean, I guess a lot of times we see a bunch of sentries shaved off in him. He recalls about like 4/5 of the army, and the rest stay there and die. So maybe
Yeah.
it's a little bit safer and cleaner to do it this way.
he can't quite support as big an army as he really wants to do a full dedicated push because he went to Stargate. We'll see what he does with the Spire, though.
The Spire.
Because the Spire started right after the Stargate, so this might just be like he noticed something in Soulkey's play. He's like, oh, Soulkey goes muta from here. And you know what? I guess he was right. Like, I think that Creator really did his homework because it kind of looked like Mutalisk, but not 100%. Like, that's definitely not something that he could have 100% told. But he is so damn ready for Mutas. He has like 6 Phoenixes already.
Right, so we got.
Yeah, he sees Mutas pop out. He has to be so happy. Look at that.
I think Soulkey could lose, man. I mean, this is.
Yeah, as long as there's
This is-
no huge mistake in control from Creator. Like, these mutas are
I think
garbage
this
right
is
now.
in a way going to look a little bit similar to the other game, except that this time Soulkey does the timing first, and then it, you know, he bounces back. Okay, I guess you got your. You had to get a time warp out there somehow.
Yeah. And look at this. Force fields,
you know what,
Phoenixes
honestly,
come up. Just
not-
micro those Phoenixes.
Not even a bad time warp there, really, since it was in between those two.
Okay, he actually chooses to pick up Roaches, so he wants a real engagement here. Coming down. Some okay force fields going down.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, it's, you know, this is like the funny thing about Phoenixes versus Mutas. I actually, like, just addressed this in an article about Legacy of the Void that I released a few days ago on my blog at scdojo.com, little self-plug there. But, like, he had enough Phoenixes to kill those Mutas, but he didn't have the time to micro them enough to do so, you know? So he's like, okay, I'll pick off some of these Roaches. He's moving down, and uh-oh.
Oh my God! Did our computer crash, or did?
No, I think it was the Observer PC, maybe.
Okay, well that's what I meant.
Oh,
we don't
okay,
actually
yeah.
have a computer, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
So we have a big engagement coming down here, and you know, I gotta say the surround is very good for Zerg right now. The Immortals though are in a decent position. Maybe not those two over there on the far left.
Well, it looks like the Immortals are living, and they're doing a good job. In the meantime, those Mutas are actually getting some harassment done against someone who has, like, 8 Phoenixes, so that's kind of a big deal. But the Phoenixes helping out this army. You know, that was as good an engagement as Soulkey could have done, and as good of Mutalisks as he could have had, considering this game. Kind
He's
of
gonna
impressive.
push down here now. I guess he's gonna go for the 3rd here. I guess if you get the 3rd, you get the 4th no matter what. Bit annoying though for. Oh no, you know what? Actually, he can keep pushing here. He just sends these Phoenixes back.
He's a little bit scared because there's like Zerglings, you know, it can be hard with the Mutas, but finally will clean up all of these Mutas. Or, sorry, rather.
Oh!
All right.
The Immortal Surround, Craigasm.
This game has gotten into kind of a weird state, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, one thing for Protoss, he still has the Phoenixes, which are going to be a continuous nuisance for the Zerg,
Yeah.
as we're seeing exhibited right here. But you know, Creator had his mining interrupted pretty heavily. It's 72 drones to 56 probes, but it was
Yeah.
lost mining time. The workers being moved around.
Yeah, he
But
lost
also,
a decent amount too, right? Like, definitely lost some probes.
yeah, well, and it's also just that since the probes weren't mining efficiently the entire time, harder for Creator to keep reinforcing this army.
Looks like Viper's on the way. We're about to have 2-2 done for Soulkey's ground army.
By the way, Soulkey barely on a 4th base. I don't believe that all the minerals are even being mined from that.
No, they aren't. He's
I think
he's
got,
really
like-
focused on gas over there, actually.
Yeah. We have Vipers coming out. Toasty McToastos.
That's what they call me.
Toasty McToaster. Talking Toaster the Toasts.
Talking Toaster the Toasters.
Or Toast is the Talking Toaster.
You're getting less and less creative.
I don't know. I think that's pretty good. I think
It's good because it's not creative.
I think if we really had to turn you into any kind of talking kitchen, piece of equipment, you would definitely be a toaster.
I feel like I would
Tastes
be
would
like...
be a juicing machine.
You think I would be a toaster? You don't think I would be like the Billy Mays like vegetable chopper or something like that?
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
That's a tough one to say who's going to be that man.
Yeah.
Todd might be a spatula. I don't know.
Spatula.
I'm just making stuff up now.
He'd be a waffle maker, actually. Use them
I'd
once
take
a
that.
year, man.
Let's do like waffles. We have the Roaches and Lings coming up now. I gotta say, I don't think we had a Stalker. Well, until that moment, we did have a Stalker killed back there, so that was actually not bad for Protoss, considering.
Yeah. But with these Vipers here, this becomes a bit tougher. Either yoinks or just throwing down, beautiful blinding clouds there. Oh wow, he actually really utilizes blinding clouds against him.
Nice harpoon though, pulling in the Colossus.
Certainly the case.
Problem is, Soulkey is going to run out of minerals on the 4th base before Creator runs out of minerals on the 4th base. Protoss takes the 4th base later than Zerg does. So, eventually Soulkey's going to have to come up here and take the 5th, in which case Protoss should probably end up with a timing attack, especially if he keeps holding off all of the Zerg attacks.
Kind of a small army to be continually engaging with beautiful blinding clouds, so just fantastic. Charge is done for these Zealots, and even the Phoenixes come in from the side. But yeah, it was like, he just didn't have enough of his supply up there. Like, he was maxed out, but that was not a maxed out army, and he was against a Protoss with almost 180 supply who had his entire army there, so that can be an issue when you make an attack like that.
I do wonder if the results of the games we're seeing today are in part because there's less VODs of these players that are currently out, these underdogs. Here on Creator, there's a lot less VODs to watch than there are for Soulkey and Terminator,
Yeah, I suppose that is the case, especially with the Hero one, where it's like Hero, you just aren't going to find quite as many games. But Creator plays some Pro League and stuff, but definitely showing some strong play here today, Tasteless. I do want to say though, he caught Soulkey going Mutt-Mutts when he was going double Stargate Phoenix.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
He started Stargates before the Mutt-Mutts, before the Spire,
This is...
Ooh.
Is this going to be the beginning of the end here? That Immortal needs to be picked off.
It's a lot of drones
too many
going
Colossi,
down.
man. Well, maybe... What? Did that look funny?
Well, he's losing his 4th, actually. Creator is.
Yeah, in fact, this might be the game that Seesaw's back into Soulkey's favor.
But he's killed off a lot of drones there, so that is a big issue as well.
It's a bit unfortunate that he just neglected that 4th base. I don't think Creator had to push right now.
Yeah.
I mean, all you had to do is secure the 4th base and then try to push out in kind of a diagonal move, just checking to see if the Soulkey's trying to sneak around him, and he just identifies that.
I would say that this game really should go to Creator because his army just looks better to me right now.
Yeah,
but
he was fighting for the wrong turf, unfortunately.
Yeah, the attack towards the 4th before with the Vipers, Hydra, Roach, if he had pulled back, rejoined his army, he would have had a much more powerful thing to do. But here, maybe the Vipers can make some sort of comeback. That's really his chance here, is using these Vipers. Good Viper blinding clouds and yanks are pretty good.
Yeah, they really are, especially against this army comp. The Nexus has started again, and this is actually Creator with a superior supply, trying to... What he's saying is, if Soulkey tries to counterattack and hit my 4th, I cancel that, and I just have a bigger army, and I smash out this expansion. So, Creator can still possibly do this, although, as we were saying again before, harpooning the Colossi, if you get a few good harpoons off, game's basically over because just Stalkers won't cut it.
Hey, look at the Viper next time you see it on the screen and get rid of its wings in your mind and tell me what type of animal it looks like.
Hold up. I think it looks like a kangaroo with a snake tail.
Really?
Yeah, look at his arms kind of tucked up like that.
Oh. Because
I feel like I just failed an ink blot test. When
yeah,
you
you
did that to me.
definitely failed that,
This means,
that
this
subjective
means I was
test.
abused as a child. So that's what we determined for this.
The
Rorschach would have said the same thing.
I think it looks like a scorpion, though, right? Look at the tail.
Oh, yeah, that'll work, too.
But, like, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat uses the same move as the Viper here.
Coincidence?
Huh. Well, here we go. This is a big concave. Oh, my God.
Really good blinding cloud.
Yeah, really good ones. Nice backup. He's going to lose this Nexus, but he may lose a lot of units killing the Nexus.
Actually, is he going to be able to save that Nexus? I think he is.
Oh, geez.
How about that?
Yeah. Actually thought he'd be able to pick that
Colossi
up.
do a lot of damage, man.
Do they?
Apparently they do.
Notice. Huh.
Now, again, don't forget, Soulkey has been running out of resources a little bit quicker than Creator on that 4th base. So if Creator keeps that 4th base up and mines it, the game is going to shift to really the burden being on the Zerg to get the expansion up and no longer about the Protoss so much. Whoa! That's how I cast a moment like that.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That's 2 stalkers for nothing.
He harpoons the Colossus, and I'm like, wee!
Wee! Wee, oh no!
So he's going to go push down here in the bottom right avenue. Going to come around.
Avenue?
It could be an avenue.
Yeah. This bottom right parkway.
Oh, yeah. We're giving it street names now. So let's see this attack over here. Zerg is actually going to sack this base. Okay, now we see what's happening. Zerg's going to sack the base. I was trying to see if Protoss or Zerg was going to try to come around. And this is really interesting because what he's saying is that he can kill off the Protoss's tech tree and just hold on the onslaught. That would force Zerg to expand over to the far left side of the map.
Yeah, we'll see. He needs to get some drones out for sure because this is a base trade scenario. And look at this. He's killing it really fast. His unit splitting is fantastic. Only 2 roaches at the 4th, a small group at the 3rd, and the rest of it just going towards the main base. So
that was so cool.
Yeah, look at this. Even pulling the sentry so that he can't force field forever. Because if you could just force field that indefinitely, you win. But
Protoss's army's coming back now.
Oh, man. Is this... Well, he has no probes on the map, right?
Let's look at the minerals here. Zerg just does not have enough money to make a hatch. And I don't see the money. Oh, it's barely going up. Looks like there's one patch he's mining from.
Yeah. Both these guys very low for that. Oh, the unit comp. I mean, the Vipers are really how we decide this battle, I would say.
Yeah, he can keep yoinking little small, like Immortals and even Sentries. Or
if the Vipers aren't fantastic, Creator wins this easy. Like, he has so many force fields. He has so many Immortals and Colossi. He has 12 Sentries. It's crazy.
Nobody's really mining. I mean, we see Soulkey going up by like what looks like 1 mined patch at a time.
Yeah, 0 for Protoss. In fact, he doesn't own a probe.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he has money and he has supply, so he could make probes out of that one Nexus.
Can't believe his army's split up right here. This is actually shocking.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh my God, he got the right Colossi.
Okay, that was a really good pull, and those were good blinding clouds. Even gets the Nexus Cannoner, Mothership Core, whatever they call it.
Nexus Cannoner?
Yeah. Okay, let's look at these. Oh man, yeah.
Problem is these are Blink Stalkers too.
Yeah.
If he really wants to, he can micro those for days.
Yeah, no real bank here left over for Soulkey, so I think he is going to die here.
These have been surprisingly close games, considering.
Yeah, like Soulkey actually made this quite nice after a big lead from his opponent.
Yeah, even if he could get that final Colossus, it wouldn't be enough. GG.
Good try from Soulkey. He had the right idea of counterattacking. Give the Protoss a lot of opportunities to make some mistakes there, but Creator, he held on strongly. I think he's playing a very nice series, Tasteless.
He really is, man. Soulkey, a bit salty right now after losing those games. Soulkey, very good.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's seems to be. Look at that, Artosis build order right there. Took it right out of Artosis' notebook.
Oh my God, that's my notebook paper.
That Artosis wrote in Korean on. Artosis writes down all of his ideas in Korean.
That would be awesome.
That would be crazy.
Not quite that smart.
So, Soulkey, it's funny because he's getting outplayed but in a lot of different ways that don't seem to be the way you would expect Soulkey to be losing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Soulkey, well, he isn't on a Kespa team anymore, I do have to point out. And Prime is like kind of one of those in-between teams. It's not like super support like the Kespa teams, but definitely you can tell he's practicing a lot. He's looking much better here than he has in a while.
We're going to go to a short break. When we return, we're going to finish the final best of 5 here today between Soulkey and Creator.